All right, welcome back. If you saw our previous video on towing with our 2022 Ford Transit EcoBoost, you'll know we only really had one complaint, and that's fuel range. Today, we're gonna fix that by installing this, a factory 31-gallon fuel tank that was an option on the Transits. So our Transit has a 25-gallon tank from the factory. This is the optional 31-gallon, actually 30.5 gallons, and this will make a huge difference in range when we're towing. So when we're towing, we only get about 10 miles to the gallon, so this will give us an extra 50 miles of comfortable range. It may not seem like much, but 5.5 gallons is equivalent to having this jug all the time. I found this one in a local junkyard for less than $150 and included everything I need to install it. So straps, vent lines, heat shields, even included an extra fuel pump assembly, which I don't need. But overall, this is a great value. You can get all the parts new from your local Ford dealership if you prefer. I'll put part numbers in the description below, but that's gonna cost you around $2,000. So finding one at a local junkyard is definitely a much cheaper option. So before you start this project, remember gasoline is dangerous. You're probably gonna spill some around. There's gonna be fumes in the air. So always have a fire extinguisher on hand and nearby.
All right, so gas tank is under the driver's side of the van. Here it is. You can see this black tank. First step is to jack up the van. So jack it up and put under jack stands, or a jack stand in this case. So I've got one on the driver's side front there. The back two wheels are on the ground, so I've got 3 out of the 4 on the ground. My van is not tall enough to get the gas tank out from underneath the rocker panels. So if you cannot slide a 5-gallon bucket under your van like this, you probably need to jack it up higher. All right, so now I've stacked some wood up underneath the gas tank at the rear and at the front here, you can see. So I've got a couple inches between the tank and the top of the wood. This is to support the tank when I drop it down, and I remove these bolts from the straps to there, and the tank will drop down and sit on the wood theoretically. You want to run the tank as low as you possibly can, so it removes as much gas as possible and hopefully makes less of a mess. I've run this down below a quarter tank. I don't know how much actual gas is in here, but I'm going to guess 5-6 gallons or so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the filler neck here. There's a flapper valve in there, so it shouldn't spill out a bunch, but I'm going to put a bucket underneath anyway and see if I can drain some gas out of it. All right, so I've removed the front straps completely, and I've removed these 2 outer bolts from the middle straps, as you can see here. So the tank is tilted to the front and to the side, and I've got it draining into a clean bucket. So this should make it quite a bit lighter. Gasoline is 6 pounds per gallon, so any weight that I can remove from the tank at this point will be helpful here later on. All right, so naturally you want to work in a well-ventilated area. Here I've got a little floor dryer going, and it is blowing fresh air under the van where I'm working to get fuel fumes away from me. All right, so I was able to drain another 2 gallons of gas out of the tank. I'm going to go ahead and get on the back side here. I'm going to lift it back up here and put this in, straighten it out a little bit. Then I'm going to get on the back side here and go ahead and remove the rest of the straps. It's a little hard to film this under the van, but luckily the Junkyard gas tank came with a spare set of connections and hoses, so I can show you how to disconnect all of this. So first things you're gonna have to remove is the electrical connections. So this is the fuel pump power. This little red slider goes this way, and then you have to press this tab down here, and then the whole thing should slide off. So that's the power. This is the actual fuel pressure line here.
And it disconnects the same way this vent line does, except there's a green snap over connection instead of this red one. There's two little tabs here. If you spread them apart, you can slide this up and away from the fitting like that. It doesn't have to come off all the way, it can go up like that, and that will come right off of there. This one, like I said, the fuel line has the exact same setup, except it's green, so you can remove it, take that off. The vent line here, you can lift up using a small screwdriver, and it's got a couple different snap-in detent positions. Get it all the way up till it stops, and then it should come off with a little bit of wiggling, like that. All right, so I got the 25-gallon tank removed from the van, and it's sitting here next to the 31-gallon tank. And you can see just how much bigger the 31-gallon tank is. So this is where all the capacity comes from. It doesn't interfere with anything under the van. It just goes past another one of the cross members and this much farther here. So if you're swapping from the 25 to the 31-gallon, in addition to the tank, you will need the heat shield. So there's an inner and outer heat shield. The other one's over there somewhere. You're gonna need this longer vent line here because this one obviously will not reach anymore. And then you're also gonna need another strap to hold up the back of it, which I'll show you here in a little bit. I'm reusing my front 3 straps. I've taken them off and I've marked them with a number and an arrow to show which way goes forward. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean this up a little bit here and work on swapping the fuel pump from the old tank to the new tank, because I'm gonna reuse my existing fuel pump because I know how many miles are on it. I don't know how many miles are on the fuel pump that came out of this tank. Before I take the fuel pump out of here, I wanna clean this all off. So I'm gonna take it out and power wash it, but I wanna cover these fittings up before I do that, keep any water from getting inside there. So I'm just gonna go through my little Harbor Freight assortment here, find the right size silicone caps that I can use to cover this up, and then power wash it. Your tabs with studs need to go in these marks around the outside, and it shows you where it's locked and unlocked. Okay, so this is the 4th gas tank strap that came from the junkyard. And if you're converting to a 31-gallon gas tank, you're gonna need this, but the mounting holes are incomplete, let's just say. So the rear hole for this, there's already a threaded and tapped hole for a bolt back here in this black bracket, and that's where this side goes. The front side goes over here, and there's a boss inside this hole in the frame, but it is not tapped. So we're gonna tap it. The factory bolts for this are M10 by 1.5. You can buy these at your local hardware store or auto parts store with the correct 13mm head, but I have some of these lying around from putting the front hitch on, so I have the correct type of Ford bolt, so I don't have to buy anything here. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap this hole with an M10 by 1.5. Little Tap Magic extra thick here is great for overhead tapping like this. And we should be able to get it started relatively straight. There we go. From the factory, they use some pallet strapping, box strapping type stuff to hold the shielding to the tank for installation. This stuff kind of falls apart pretty easily, and our Junkyard tank was missing it. So I'm going to string together some large zip ties and hold it in place for installation. Here I'm just trying to cycle the fuel pump a couple times, make sure it's primed before I try starting it, just to hopefully avoid getting any kind of engine code. All right, looks like it runs just fine. The last thing we could do is, if we really wanted to calibrate our miles to empty, we could go to the dealership and have them hook up the scan tool, and they can recalibrate that for the 31-gallon gas tank. I'm not really concerned about that. The fuel light comes on when there's 50 miles to empty, theoretically. Now with our extra reserve, it'll be 60 miles to empty. Our fuel gauge will still be accurate because the tanks are the same depth. This is 5 gallons of gas in there from our can, so it still shows a quarter tank. So in 6 miles it's taken me to get to the gas station. The gas gauge has dropped down to 1/8 of a tank, and miles to empty has dropped to 62 from the 91 it was previously, and it was dropping pretty fast. So the computer's probably calibrated to make this more of a steady drop versus bouncing all over the place, but I'm going to say this is probably pretty accurate. Let's top off the tank and see what it shows then. All right, it's definitely holding more gas. Let's see where it shuts off. Hopefully this gets up to 25. All right, we've definitely got a 31-ish gallon tank. So here we are with a full tank, and it shows 346 miles to empty. At 15 miles of the gallon, that should be roughly 450 miles. So if it being that far off bothers you, you should probably go to the dealership and have it recalibrated. For me, once again, when it's getting down to empty, it's more accurate, and it just gives me an extra, 10, 15 miles of reserve, so I'm not worried about it. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to trying this out. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.